Hey guys, so last week our milk from our cow started to turn bitter, and so we needed to figure out what was wrong, and so we did a few things to try to remedy that. And something we were doing was rotating the animals on pasture with a hot wire and keeping them in certain sections to eat down certain parts of the pasture. And when they ran out, we moved them to the back of our property, and we didn't pen them up in any specific area, but they were able to graze anywhere they wanted. And I do believe there were some weeds out there, and so the cow's milk turned bitter. However, when we took her off pasture and penned her up and gave her hay, it took about a week for it to return to normal. And so we were trying to figure out what was wrong. And so I wanted to share with y'all some of the things that people said that could be wrong, which I'm not even sure what it was specifically, other than I really think it was just that she got into some weeds and it just took that long for her body to return to normal. But one of the things that some people say, that if the milk is bitter, or if it tastes like, some people say it tastes like cow manure, or it has an off grassy ruminant kind of taste, is that they give their cows vitamin E. And what they do is they give them human vitamin E. So they give them 1200 to 1600 IUs, and the milk returns back to its normal flavor. Everything is fine. The second thing people suggested was that the cow possibly has mastitis, and we use the California mastitis test, which is literally this purple liquid that you dilute with some water. You put so much into the little trays of the milk that you've squirted from the cow, and you see if they have mastitis or not. If it turns gooey, boogery kind of, then she has mastitis, and you'll treat accordingly for that. I want to recommend a Facebook group, which is, I think it's Holistic Cows. I'll link it down below. I can't specifically remember right now. But anyway, so I am a part of this group, and they share a lot of holistic things to do. The obviously other extreme is to use today medication, or I think you have to go to the vet now to buy these things, because you can no longer buy antibiotics supposedly over the counter. I ended up purchasing a bunch of the Today and Tomorrow mastitis medication, but I'm learning how to treat this stuff naturally, and I'll share more about that later. But anyway, so that was the second thing people said. So another thing that people shared was to give the animal Bose, which is spelled B-O-S-E, and it is an injectable product that you give to your animal, and it contains selenium and vitamin E. So there's another dose of, you know, the vitamin E that they're saying that they're missing. And so I haven't used it, but I have heard about it. It's supposed to be really good, especially for goats. But I think it would be a lot easier to just take the small pellet, or I think they're soft gels for the vitamin E, and to just put that in their feed and let them eat it. So and then I think the other thing that they were suggesting obviously was that maybe she got into some weeds, and some people were saying they only feed their cow certain things. One lady told me she only fed her cow alfalfa hay and nothing else, like that was her source of food. And she said that that's how they've done it since way back, and that's how they do it today. So I think this lady was like 70. It's pretty old. I say that now, but then when I turn that age, it's not gonna be that old. Anyway, so those were the things that were shared with me about why the milk could be bitter. And so we have tons of milk that's bitter because we couldn't use it. It's disgusting. And so instead of discarding it, we have done a few things. We have some puppies, and so we are putting the milk in the puppy food and letting them eat it and drink it. And then another thing we have been doing is we are bottle feeding that calf. And so instead of giving her the sweet milk, we're just giving her the bitter milk, because if she was with mom, she would have been drinking it anyways. And so I have been using it for that. And because we can't get through it quick enough, I have decided to bag it up and store it in the freezer, and every day until we run out of this, she will be getting some. And I'm also freezing this in quart-sized bags so that they're easier to handle and put in the pot to be able to warm up for the cow. And One more thing is that we make sure we shook the jar that the milk is in, or mixed it really well, so that way the calf can get a sufficient amount of fat in her milk. Something we've done in the past when the milk has gone bitter is that we fed it to our pigs, and that went really well because pigs can drink up quite a ton of milk and it puts fat on them. And then the last thing that I could or would have done would have been to pour it in the garden, but thankfully I did not have to do that. We also have cats outside, and so we gave them some of that. We poured some into the chicken feed in their chicken bucket that we have. We just mixed it with all the food that was in there, all the scraps, and then we poured it outside for them, and they loved it. And so I will just show you a quick process of how I am putting the milk in these bags to be able to put in the freezer. My husband bought me this vacuum sealer machine, and so I am going to seal the bottom, and by turning this little piece here, it seals. And once this light stops shining red, I will pull this piece out after I unlock this, and make sure it is long enough so that when I pour the milk in, it will not come out or be at the top, because then it makes it harder to put into the vacuum seal. So I'll cut it here. I put it right here to seal. Okay, and then it's gonna seal it permanently. And because these bags are so wide, I closed it, but now I'm going to cut it open right here and pour in from the top. That way it won't want to like just crinkle and spill out from there, and it's longer this way. I have 4 cups of milk, or 1 quart in each, like I said, and see how easy it is to pour even by myself. Pouring right here. Alright. Then I am going to put it back in the machine and seal it. Be careful not to spill it. Sounded like I'm singing. Okay, I'm gonna push this and quickly push seal, otherwise it'll suction the milk out. And so it seals it right away. I should have wrote on the bag before I put the milk in, but now I am going to have to do it after. I don't actually have to hold the bag, but I am, so I will go and write on this now. Oh, it's better to write on here because the condensation builds up. Oops. I'm writing this on here to help my son because he makes the bottles, to learn 1 quart equals 4 cups. And that's it. So I will store these in the freezer laying down like this. I hope that was helpful to y'all. If y'all have any questions, you can leave them down in the comments and hopefully I can answer them. And if not, maybe I can direct you to somebody who can. Thanks for watching. I will see y'all in my next video. Y'all take care. Bye.